welcome back to Mortals and Portals, a Pathfinder real play podcast. I'm your host and GM, Zach, and joining me at the table is...
Jules, and I play Adam, a helpless artist.
Wait, I'm Joel, and I play Dax, a kobold rogue.
I'm Tough. I play Ryan, a musician who lives with his mom.
I'm trying not to interrupt. Taryn, go.
I'm Waltz, and I play Taryn. I'm just, we're just here for the ride.
Yep.
He's here today.
I am Don Reynard, Keanu de las Nubes, and I play a 36-year-old man without a full-time regular job named Josh.
Nice. Dang, you guys
And a
got
cutie.
And of course, I didn't participate, as per usual. Whoops.
Yeah, Joel, you missed out on all the
I didn't
fun,
think
man.
y'all would
You're
join.
always put so on the spot in your scenario.
I
I
don't
got
even get a
so
chance
nervous
to
after
know the
when
theme.
Taryn was going. I was like, "Oh no, what's happening? Something's happening."
Can we acknowledge my
Wait, did we
growth
do that
moment,
wrong?
though, of like not interrupting before Taryn? Even though I interrupted
Proud
to
of you.
say I'm not interrupting, but so I guess baby steps. But yeah,
Baby
That's a
steps,
step
Zach.
forward.
Baby steps.
yeah. Hey, Josh is still here, and that is Josh, aka GM and producer of the Titans of Altera podcast, and also player in the Sneak Attack podcast, both 5e podcast. Check them out if you don't stick around to the end where I talk more about that. I just got to get that in there real quick, and we just love having Josh, and he's even joined our downtimes, by the way. So if you also like Josh, you can check us out on Patreon and get to hear some of his insights on the episodes and all that stuff. And hey, whoa, I'm doing plugs right now. You know what? At the start of the episode, I'm gonna do another plug.
Whoopsies.
Please give us a review and give us like 5 stars and all that stuff. I say that at the end, but you probably don't hear that either. So I'm just gonna say that right now. We're also on YouTube. Is there anything else, guys? Is there anything else I normally say?
Say something
we have
nice in your review.
Oh, I
Don't
love you
just
guys.
Do 5 stars and say
I
something
thought you were telling me to say something nice.
Oh.
Well, I do
No,
love the
no.
listeners. Yeah.
to the people.
Okay.
We have a store too.
Oh yeah, we do have a store. We never
What?
ever say that
The
even
merch
at the
store.
end. There's a store. Adam designed a bunch
I've
of
been
merch.
on this podcast for how long? I didn't
Yeah.
even know.
Man, we should do this more often in the beginning. But yeah, seriously, if you could just take a moment, if you're this far and you haven't given us a rating, would you please? Would you please? It really, really helps us out. And if you got
Could
the
ya?
time, write a review.
Would
'cause
ya?
it makes us feel good. We read all that stuff, and that also helps us out because people are browsing podcasts. They go to reviews, and they're like, wow, sounds like this is a good podcast, and they'll check it out. So yeah, thanks. Anyways, yeah, so last time on Mortals and Portals, let's see. I feel like a lot happened in that episode. Yeah, you
was
guys
a
left the
chonker.
sewers, and then you ran into Benjamin, who was flying on Smith, and basically you found out that people were looking for hippogriffs because of the whole bombing thing that happened with all the bombs that you guys ran, and then Benjamin figured you guys wouldn't want Smith to be taken, so he was just super heroic, super awesome, and flew off recklessly and crashed him. And then you found out that Renard actually knows Smith as Cervantes, and that is actually his hippogriff, who he was separated from, actually flying around Nisserine, and he was like intercepted by
Long time ago.
Desmar, and separated from him and like washed up on, something happened. I don't think he even elaborated too much, so I won't dive too much into that. But yeah, his hippogriff. And then you guys kind of bonded over the fact that Smith likes both of you guys. So, background check basically. If Smith likes you, then someone's good to go. And then you were also figuring out how you need to, get to this node because you may be keepers, and keepers can travel through nodes that aren't aligned, which is convenient because you need to pursue someone through the node. And if you had to do that traditionally, it wouldn't align for who knows how long, and they'd be long gone. So you had one minor problem. There was this gnome named Duke who Taryn just, started having coffee with basically, and he's hearing all this wild stuff you guys are talking about. And when he heard that Renard City is plummeting to the surface like a giant meteor that will destroy the entire planet, he was like, hey, why don't we go tell the authorities this so they could just blow it out of the sky, so it's like, maybe lessens the impact and doesn't destroy the whole planet. And you guys obviously don't want him to do that. And Benjamin, ever sharpening his social skills from all of the counseling from Waltz, picked up on the fact that you guys don't want this person to go share information, even though he doesn't know what that information is. His character arc was fulfilled as he improved his social skills and
Blindly faithful to Digsby's
yeah.
crew.
Honestly, saved Duke's life, really.
Yeah,
Like,
really, because Don Renard is maybe gonna stab him. So yeah, he's like, "Don't worry, I got it," and he just picked him up by the collar and made off into the trees. So you guys were good to, getting NPCs out of here. There's too many, let's just get them doing something else. because switching voices is hard. So yeah, and then you guys made your way to the node, and you, as you approached it, it was like guarded by a few soldiers, and it, I know there's so much that happened in the episode. Yeah, a few soldiers, and apparently just from overhearing them, and like talking to Zoki, it's not supposed to align today, so they just had a couple guys hanging around there. And like Waltz just walked out and started talking to him, and then Jules summoned his unseen servant, the sassy unseen servant, who was, if anyone didn't pick up on the voice, it's Kip from Napoleon Dynamite. That's who I'm drawing from my ridge.
Just really TO'd.
I've just been online chatting with hot babes all day, Napoleon. Yeah, I guess it's like a sassier Kip because he's just annoyed.
I think Kip is in my room.
Being summoned. Yeah. And yeah, so he summoned the unseen servant to like throw some cabbages around and make a distraction so you could go to the node. The soldiers freaked out thinking it's ghost cabbages. And Walt's talking. Anyway, you guys got on the node. You're trying to get it aligned, and guess who shows up? Raul Vega, Don Renard's nemesis. And they have this like altercation, and they're talking, and he's basically saying he's gonna squash him under his boot. He compares you to a cockroach, Don Renard. Like he's like, you're literally a roach for me. I'm gonna crush you.
He's so stupid face.
Yeah. And we found he's the one
cucaracha.
guy that can get under Don Renard's skin and crack that suave exterior and make him babble and call him a poo-poo face. I think you called him at one point.
I was in a struggle bus hard.
And while you guys are battling, you're trying to like get this node line. So you guys, I was very proud of you. You guys like wisely tried all of the words you had learned or like
felt like such clever boys.
My mama told me a bunch of words.
Yeah, you tried all of them.
You just laughed in our face.
Yeah, it didn't work. Yeah, none of them worked. And then to make matters worse, Raul overheard you guys speaking in Elder, he called it, and figured you're up to no good. Doesn't know what you're trying to do, but knows he wants to stop it. And he summoned like his mount, which is this giant bat creature with like electrical powers called I think I called it a Merc-Fan.
I'm Batman.
Yeah, Batman, I guess Batman, yeah. It's flying towards you guys. Dax knows you're screwed, so he's like, we gotta get out of here. And then Waltz, out of desperation, just tries to, reach out to, as Taryn put it, he goes, I've been able to go to other dimensions and stuff, so maybe I could try something. And he gave something a shot. And next thing you know, Tuff's eyes are glowing, and in like a voice that's not his, he's like, how do you call on a power you do not know, or something I wrote down on the other, go listen to the episode. And then he says a whole bunch of stuff in this other language, and then the node aligns, and boom, you guys all shoot into the depths of
you just spent like 5 minutes explaining everything, and at the end of it, you go, just go listen to the episode.
I feel like
that's what all our recaps should be.
Sometimes I worry.
And last time on Models and Portals
of recaps, and people could just listen to those. So maybe I shouldn't do that. But I don't know. I just know how like even when you're a player,
it's good for me.
Session,
I forgot some of that.
Yeah, exactly. Even when you're a player in a campaign, half the time you like don't know what's going on, or you forget, and even after like 2 weeks. Like, especially, you definitely don't know what's going on. So, the recap's also for us, because you may have like, binged these back-to-back, but, I mean, it was weeks ago for us. So.
It's been months.
Months. No, it hasn't. That would be crazy, wouldn't that be
I'm
crazy?
a grandmother.
It's been 84 years.
As Joel would say, it's been a while.
It has.
No, yeah.
It's been a while.
I hope we got at least like one chuckle out of the effort of you adding that echo effect.
The
Like, someone's
reverb
like,
to
oh,
it.
that's funny. Yeah, I know that song. Everyone else like, is like, what the heck?
I chuckled, Joel.
Good.
Yeah.
Then it was all
We
worth
think
it.
we're funny. Moral of the story. Yeah, so that's where we end our session with you guys shooting into outer space. So that is where we will start our session as you're surging through the power of the node, flying at what feels like trillions of miles in an instant. Jules, Waltz, and Dax all the while getting faint flashes of the circular stone doorway bearing the sigil of an encircled star, though this time you do not hear a chorus of voices calling out to you. And suddenly, all of your momentum stops. And you feel that familiar feeling of the node retracting in power as you hear it humming and losing its magical energy. Can you all roll me a perception check?
Is this initiative, though? Is this an initiative perception check roll?
I don't know.
You silly
I'll never
goose.
tell.
Ryan, do it. Do the thing.
Should I too?
Guys, I did.
Ryan, I'm playing
I
your
rolled
character
it.
now, remember?
All right, well, who do I get to play?
Someone
GM?
like made a comment saying like, "Wow, Zach's let Ryan play for like 6 straight episodes or something." Yeah, that ends here. I was like, "That's too long."
Okay.
I gotta
Look at
play
me.
back.
I'm the captain now.
No, you can. Yeah, you roll 2, Ryan.
Probably good reasoning behind that.
If I could just say, I got a 21.
I got a 10.
20.
30.
Whoa!
23.
Calm down, Josh.
Goodness.
I rolled a 19.
He can see everything.
Okay, Renard, you are very determined. You know you just traveled through this node, and you have all the faith that these keepers are taking you exactly where you need to go. So when you arrive on the other side, you're all business, and all of you instantly can tell you're in very, very heavy rain, like just an absolute downpour.
This is great for Jules because I need to rehydrate. So
Sure, you have not hydrated in a while. And it is dark outside. You can hear thunder rumbling, and you're surrounded by thick vegetation. Renard, like, you're very astute in this moment, like Renard, Dax, and Jules. You can all tell that this seems like jungle vegetation. Waltz, you are trying to get your bearings through this rain, and as you can see that you can't really detect anything around you, you start to get very concerned, mostly for Tough, given what you just saw him do. And then so you look more towards him, and then see the glow disappear from his eyes as he starts to stumble to a knee and look very disoriented, and he outstretches one arm with his head hung low, so maybe you kind of kneel down towards him.
Duh.
Is everyone here? Did everyone make it?
Cervantes.
Yeah,
You
I'm
hear
good.
him chirp
Waltz.
outwards towards you, looking irritated from all the rain that's hitting him, looking very antsy.
Yeah, I'm here, Dax.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Tough, what was that?
I can tell you that was probably one of the weirdest journeys across a node I've ever had. How did it end up working anyway?
You.
Yeah, what are you talking
You
about?
activated it.
You're the one who said stuff.
Your eyes started to glow, and your voice was different, but you mumbled a bunch of words, and we're here.
Was that like your superpower thing that you did when we were fighting Sindor? You got all glowy during that thing, too.
Couldn't have been me. I didn't say jack. I only heard you guys talking.
No, you did.
No, yeah, you definitely were talking.
I didn't.
It did not sound like your voice, but it was you speaking. Your whole body moved, and a great light opened
Yeah,
up.
your eyes, they were like on fire or something. Also, it's pretty wet here.
If it doesn't walk like a cat and doesn't sound like a cat, it probably wasn't me then.
I think you perhaps might be more than you think you are, my friend. I am sorry that I initially wanted to kill you.
Yeah, well, you would have regretted that decision one way or another. But I don't know, why don't we just figure out where we are?
Oh, this rain feels great.
We are in a jungle somewhere, correct? Zoki, you heard where they had taken the Flor de Vida, correct?
Yeah, Ashmark, they said. I've never been there, but it's an island.
Does this fit any descriptions that anyone knows of Ashmark?
Anyone from Mortifar?
I'll look at Walt.
So, am I actually familiar with where we're at?
It's your backyard, dude.
Yeah, just roll me a recall knowledge for society.
11.
So, Waltz, you remember vaguely the name of Ashmark. You feel like you've heard that before, but you don't exactly know where it is in relation to other things in Mortifar. But the vegetation here is reminiscent of Mandaru. So, knowing the climates of Mortifar, you can tell you're maybe along the equator in central Mortifar. And this rain is very familiar to you because just being in Mandaru, you experience this type of heavy rain often. It's kind of like the South Pacific on Earth, like a lot of heavy rain and all these islands in one area.
Yeah, I've fought around here before, Jules. If we're not in Ashmark right now, we can't be too far away. This is pretty similar climate to how it is there.
Is there a way for me to like magically check to see if I'm on like the same planet
Yeah.
as the Flor de Vida?
Yeah, can you roll me a nature check with a +4 circumstance bonus?
Yes, 15.
Okay. Renard, as you hear Walt say that, you get very hopeful that you are near the Flora de Vida, and just knowing your position back home, you know you are privy to be able to sense the Flora de Vida in some capacity, and you would hope that if you're near it, you'd be able to tell. And you simply close your eyes as the rain beats down, and you feel this ping in your chest, this hopeful, stirring feeling, and feel like you are near and have a good sense for which direction it may be in.
Could I pull out my sword and kind of use it as a, hold it up and close my eyes and use it as like a divining rod almost to give
Absolutely. Yeah.
me a direction?
Okay.
So I won't talk to anybody. I'll just walk out into the rain, put my head up, so that it's hitting my face, take out my sword, and I'll say, Flora de Vida, guide my blade. Show me where you are, that I may get you back and take you home. And, what happens? Does anything happen?
Is this guy crazy?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
You feel like this energy kind of surge down your sword, almost like a little vibration that only you could sense and feel as you kind of align it with the direction it's at, and get this stirring feeling in your chest and feel like it is near and in the direction in which you are pointing.
Hey, Dong, what are you doing?
I believe
Did
it
you
is...
just call him Dong? And Jules will be sitting down and laying back on the node, just stretching out and just taking in all this rain.
My friends, I think I know where the Flora de Vida is. At least the direction we should go.
And as Reynard turns to you all proudly, telling you he thinks he knows where the Flora de Vida is, you see
I know what you're doing.
lizard-like heads raise out of the brush behind him with his back turned, and then long tails lift out of the brush, and hear hissing and chirping as more heads poke out of the brush near you, and you see these feathered creatures that look like velociraptors creeping out of the brush towards Renard.
I told you that fate would show us the way. This is a good sign, my friends. We are in the right place. I'm sure of it.
Tough, I think that node journey messed with your circuits. I can hear them hissing.
Tuff will look down at his forearm, pop it open. Everything seems to be all right. What are you talking about?
Jules will lift his head up. First look at Tough, and then turn and look and notice these velociraptor things. Dog, look out, behind you!
I pirouette.
You whip around, see these velociraptors creeping out of the brush, circling you. You see 6 closing in around all of you. Look like they're spring-loaded, ready to pounce as they creep towards you, and then lightning flashes overhead, and they all raise their head, look to each other, and then turn around sprinting away in the other direction. Uh-oh.
Oh, crap. Did you guys see that?
Walt, do you know what those were?
No, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Do you know what they were,
about
Dax?
this?
And right as Dax says that, you hear 2 heavy footsteps turn around as the lightning flashes one more time, and hear a deep growl as a Tyrannosaurus Rex lets out a loud roar. Can you all roll me initiative?
Do we have to?
I really strung that one out.
Slowly take the sunglasses off of my face.
19.
Non-nat 20.
14, Zach, if you want to write that down.
16.
9. Tuff will just sigh and look down all disappointed and turn his head towards Jules and say, "What's that saying about being out of the frying pan and into the fire?"
This is no time for mechanical jargon.
And this T-Rex begins to sprint out of the brush. You hear twigs, branches snapping as its massive body plows through tree branches, snapping them in 2. Lets out a loud roar as it charges onto the node, and is going to just run through the position that Jules and Tuff are as they're hanging out on the node, and try to trample you. Can you each roll me a reflex save?
It's a good old 27 for your boy Tuff.
24 for Jules. If you didn't know my voice, Zach, that was Adam.
And as it plows through your space, stepping onto the node, you're hearing its heavy footsteps. You try to dive out of the way, but its knee strikes you and its tail comes whipping through and hits you as well, and does 18 damage to each of you as it appears on the other side of the node and whips its head back around and lets out another loud roar.
I'd like to remind you, Zach, we just came out of a fight, so...
Oh, I know, dude.
Ah! Jules is looking pretty rough.
Ow, ow, ow! Dax, can't you tell we mean no harm or something?
What do you think, I could talk to this thing?
And that does take us to Dax, actually.
Well, you better make yourself useful somehow.
As this thing is just bowled over two of my allies, Dax will look down at his hands with his fists as a bluish-white magic starts to emanate from them, and he'll cast a Ray of Frost at this beast.
All right, roll it up.
That is a 23.
You go and stick your hand out to cast Ray of Frost at this creature, and as you shoot it, it just mixes with all the rain that's falling down and just creates these ice crystals and dampens it before it can even reach them, and then just lands on the ground and shatters before it reaches the T-Rex.
I'll go ahead and try to hide then.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
That is a 16.
All right, you dive off the node and roll down this muddy hill and rest in some thick jungle brush, and that'll take us to Waltz. Waltz, don't try and punch this thing, dude.
You said it's a gargantuan?
Yeah. Are you trying to see if you can grapple it?
And what size am I, Zach?
You're medium.
Okay.
He's like, all right, I can't grapple the gargantuan T-Rex.
It says so right here. It won't let me.
Waltz will quickly want to just assess like the whole situation and like everything that's going on around him. So can you explain like what the T-Rex is doing and anything else that I see in the environment around me?
You can roll a perception check.
Yes.
Or observe or whatever.
18.
Yeah, you're just looking around and this massive T-Rex is just dominating most of your vision. It looks very bloodthirsty, very hungry, and you can tell that if it's scared off that many of those other dinosaurs, that this is probably like one of the apex predators on the island. And you're looking around and you can see that it is dark and there is lots of brush. Maybe you could try and outrun it and hide, or maybe you could fight it, I don't know, but it does look pretty fast. Kind of up to you to decide how you're gonna do that.
Do I get the sense that the lightning came from the T-Rex?
I kind of just want to say yes, Waltz would think that, but no. It's just
an
raining
electric
right
Rex.
now.
Okay.
Definitely just seems like a brute force, like massive creature.
Yeah, Waltz will just try and run over by Dax then. Guys, I don't think we can fight this thing.
Are you trying to hide?
Yeah.
Okay, you can roll a stealth check as well. It's gonna blow Dax's hiding spot.
12.
Okay. You start like running down the node and just like trip and kind of like hit the mud and slide a little bit just through the mud, and yeah, it just roars at you, and you're covered in mud.
You're more hidden than anybody now. You're just...
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
good.
that's the key. That'll take us to Renard.
Where's Cervantes?
Cervantes is next to you, a little bit off the node.
Would it be as obvious to me as it was to Waltz that this thing is something we can't fight?
I just want to clarify, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, if you, because you wanted, like, other options, like, that is another avenue. I'm not saying, like, you can't fight it. So, don't think I'm saying you can't fight it.
I want to get close to Cervantes' head because I know there's a storm and I want to make sure that he can hear me. And and I'll say, Cervantes, do you think you can get me to the top of the creature's head?
You see him moving his feet nervously, like feeling like he needs to move but wants to be near you, so he's just like trying to channel his energy to stay in place, and he snorts and looks at you and lifts his head up and down.
That's right. I'll hop on top of his back and I'll say, Arriba!
Alright, roll me a command and animal check with a +4 circumstance bonus.
Command an animal. That's a 21.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you hop on, give him a kick, say Reba, He gives a powerful burst with his wings, and the T-Rex is not far, so he instantly gets up to the correct height and has you overhead. And do you want him to just dump you off at that point?
I would like to try and leap onto the back of the head of the T-Rex.
All right. Can you roll me an acrobatics check?
Would you count this if I'm successful as a panache grabbing move?
Yeah, you're trying to get on a T-Rex's head. I'll give you a panache for that.
All right, that's a 19.
Okay, so almost more like a jump, but just with a push of his wings. Cervantes gets you up overhead and instantly tips to the side and extends his wing, and you slide down it like it's a slide. And then you go to land on the T-Rex's head, and right when you touch its head, you slip from all the rain, hit its back, and start to slide down, and then just grab onto his shoulder blade as he levels out, and you're kind of barely hanging on, but I will not give you panache for that since you didn't roll super high on the acrobatics.
Fair. You're a very just DM. Thank you.
Yes. Well, he's about to kill you,
You're
so
just
don't say that yet.
DM.
All right, I'll take us to Jules.
He can't reach me. I'm on the back. He's not
He's
gonna.
got short arms. What's he gonna do?
They haven't
It's the
evolved
perfect
to
plan.
long-arm T-Rexes yet.
Jules is hurting really bad. He is going to roll off of the node. Is that one action?
Yeah, if you just want to like move and get away, yeah, that'll be a move action.
Okay. Would you also allow me to take my ocarina out as I do so, simultaneously?
No, just because like that's just like how you cast spells. So like your spells
Okay,
have the
thank
action economy, so you don't have to.
You are kind and just.
You guys are really
GM.
kissing up to me right now since there's a
Nasty.
T-Rex.
We're in the dark in the rain with a T-Rex. You get all the
And that
niceness.
T-Rex shoots lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah, according to Walt.
Jules will bring the ocarina swiftly up to his mouth and cast sleep.
Okay. Also, I just want to say I love that Walt is like
Guys, look out, it shoots
He's like
lightning,
in the mud. He's like so scared of this lightning shooting T-Rex.
Beat it.
Walt's never once died.
Guys, we don't stand a chance. It shoots lightning.
Walt's has
They
never
can
ran
barely
from
kill
any
regular
conflict.
T-Rexes, let alone ones that shoot lightning.
He went from in his mind being like an anime character grappling a giant creature to in the mud. That was such a turn of
Guys, stay away from the trees. That's where lightning strikes.
Okay, I do want to clarify a rule, just if it changes what you're going to do, Adam. This has what's called an incapacitation trait, the spell, which basically means like enemies of a certain level, whatever they roll on their save will count as 1 degree higher. And it's basically just to prevent you from like cheesing a dragon by just like making a super powerful dragon like fall asleep, so they get
Sure.
like a
Yeah.
massive like bonus in that regard. So I don't know if that changes what you want to try.
I don't think it would. I think that's just what Jules. That's his first thought, is to try to take this thing down.
Okay. Yeah.
Because nothing else he has could even come close to taking care of this quickly. So
Okay. What does he roll?
a will save, and he has to beat a 20.
Okay, Jules, as you're like rolling off the node, kind of down off the lip and then into the mud, yourself sliding a little bit as the rain hits you. I picture you kind of doing that like John Wick, where he's like on the ground, he's like, oh, and like his hair flips
Oh,
around,
yeah, for
and you
sure.
just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
look up and pull out the
Anytime I can be like
ocarina,
John Wick.
and you go to start playing it, and just a bunch of water spits out. So you take a moment to just blow out all of this water, dry it off the best you can. As you just see Walt's like falling in the mud, and you see Reynard hanging from him, and you're like, man, this is desperate. And you try and calm down, and you play this very shaky tune, considering how intense everything is. And you see the T-Rex, like it had this like vicious look in its face, but then for a moment curls its lip down and raises its head, and its eyes grow wide as it looks towards this tune. And you see it sort of sway for a moment and look calmer than it was originally, and then shake its head a little bit as rain falls off and it's trying to get its bearings. So he rolled about as bad as he could have, and it was a failure, but it was elevated to a success because of the incapacitation trait. So it was a regular success for him, where he takes a -1 status penalty to perception checks for 1 round. And he is looking for hidden people potentially, so that could help.
I'll take it.
I'm very hidden.
Was that a 2-action spell?
That's his. It was. So.
Well, should I
Jules
just lay
is
in the mud and just play dead with how scared he
Starts like
is?
covering
He just
himself
starts
in mud.
covering himself up.
I was gonna say, this is the guy that like literally tried to clamp a drake's mouth shut as it fired like a frost beam. So I just love, like, even though we're exaggerating this, the visualization.
And live
of
to
him
tell
like,
the tale.
Yeah, we gotta go. All right, and that'll take us to Tough.
So I'm prone right now, right?
You
No,
are
it doesn't
in,
knock you
I would
prone.
say this. You are in the perfect position to shoot Jules with a health shot.
Good to know.
Just
I shoot myself with a health shot. Tough will kind of like stagger up after just getting plowed over by this T-Rex and go, "Oh, my freaking nuts and bolts."
Good. How long have you been holding on to that one?
That I get to delete it off of the notes in my phone now. We'll just say that.
It's just titled "Hilarious Jokes to Make in Podcast."
Later
and
tonight.
it's just the only one.
Later
That's the only one
tonight,
that's on.
dear journal, I got to say the nuts and bolts line today.
Everybody laugh at me.
If I could choose one person's journal and just
Scribble that up.
You know, Ryan's.
They
At
laughed
the beginning
with
of the episode, when I told people to like give a rating, someone gave 4 stars. Then you made that joke, and they went back and edited it to 5 stars. So good job, Ryan.
You're welcome, everyone.
Never mind, they're pretty good.
I think Tough just wants to get an assessment of this situation. So I know we're surrounded by trees, so I think I'm just going to use my first action to high jump and use my blast boots to just get up in like
Remember, that's
a high
2
tree
actions.
branch.
We botched that in that
Correct.
one episode. So
Yeah, so sorry, I used my first 2 actions to high jump and blast boots up into a tree.
all right, you click your boots together or whatever you do to do that, and rockets shoot out the bottom, and it really illuminates the area for a moment as it's all dark and rainy. You can really see the smoke as it slices through the rain, and you fly up and land on a branch and perch like a little kitty cat.
Beautiful imagery. Upsy daisy. And then I want to do what everybody in the Discord keeps talking about, and I want to say it's a recall knowledge check, but Tough's trying to like plan out the situation and decipher if they even stand a chance against this T-Rex, and if so, like what potential like weaknesses or like plan of action could be. Again, I don't know how this recall knowledge check stuff works at all, so I'm just trying to figure out what I can get out of a check like that or how that works.
Thank you for using an ability you don't know how it works.
But this is
I
like
have
this is
no
like
idea
everyone's
what
ability.
this is. Yeah, no, I understand.
Well, and they tried to describe it to me in the Discord, and I think I said, haha, I get it now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what do you want to know? Oh, so you want to know if you stand a chance. Okay.
Is that all I would get out of it? Because otherwise I might want to use something. That might be what I would want to do first. Like, are we running or are we
Okay.
fighting?
Yeah. You could roll a nature check.
Okay. Ooh, I've got +0, but I rolled an 18.
Okay. Yeah, you know a little bit about dinosaurs. You haven't personally interacted with any of them, but just being from Garanar, you've read about them, you've heard about them. Especially ones of this size and carnivores, you would know to be extremely formidable, deceptively fast just because of how long their stride is, super powerful jaws. You've even heard tales of people being swallowed whole by them and fighting them from the inside. You know that they will pin people down and try and rip them to shreds. They'll throw people with their mouths, just not something you want to mess with. Any story you've heard of anyone being able to take them down, they either were extremely powerful people or they had numbers and worked together with teamwork. So you would definitely get the sense of everyone just running around, doing their own thing, falling in the mud, playing songs, jumping on their backs. Like you're like, if we're gonna do this, we need to like do something. Especially since not a single person has attacked this creature through an entire round of combat.
Correct.
So yeah,
I
Very
tried.
interesting. So
But you
we
made me
don't
miss.
stand a chance, and we can't run away. So that helps a lot.
maybe.
Can I take like a free action to just call out to the group?
Sure.
Hey, bozos, how about a little bit of coordination here? Listen up. And that's going to be for when Tough actually tries to think of a plan come next round.
I just picture Walt's like raising his head from the mud and looking at you eagerly waiting for something. And then you just stop to start thinking.
It's readying instructions.
He pops up to let me know about the lightning.
Watch out! This thing's got lightning!
I heard that's not good for robots.
Renard, as you swing down the neck, your knee hits the stomach of this T-Rex, and as it shakes its head, trying to get its bearings after Jules' song, realizes that you are on him and is going to try and run you into a tree as you're hanging from its spine.
Slam me from...
just try and run and graze you up against a tree. So can you roll me a reflex save?
Yes. Okay, I got a 23.
Oh, nice. Okay. So as this beast runs up towards this tree and you're trying to figure out what it's doing, you look and see the tree just in time and do a muscle up over its spine and then flip to the other side of its waist as it grazes against the tree branch. You hear it snap and the entire tree comes tumbling down, and it lets out a frustrated roar as it does its best to turn its head around and see you, and then almost looks like it doesn't even care that you're on there for a moment. It's frustrated, and then it looks back at you, Renard, realizing that you're on the other side, and it's a little bit frustrated that it can't reach you, and then it's almost like hoping you just fall off on your own, or it waits for you to be a bigger problem, and then it just starts running, and as he's running, Waltz lets out a yell as he sees this huge T-Rex that's about to step on him.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Almost like it didn't see Waltz there, and then it sort of slides in the mud, and then tilts its head, and then just looks down at Waltz, and then opens its mouth wide and is going to try and snap its jaws down on Waltz.
This is awesome. I love this fight.
Bolts, look out!
Does a 31 hit you?
Sure does.
Zach, this is dumb. Let's restart.
But he's covered in
It
mud.
sure does.
He's gonna taste disgusting.
Oh, he didn't. Doesn't the T-Rex have -1 on perception checks?
It does, yeah. But you actually weren't
factor
hit
that
it.
in?
And its jaws snap down on your shoulder and rip up, tearing up your back, tearing up your
Oh my
shoulder.
gosh.
And it deals 17 damage. And then it reaches its foot forward and hunches down and just roars at you point blank as your own blood and flesh is flying off of its teeth from the roar, smacking you back in the face as you're stumbling backwards. And that'll take us to Dax. Adam, you're like, can we just start over?
Woof. Sitting hidden in the ferns and whatever, Dax is starting to realize that this isn't going to work. That, like, sitting back here taking pot shots while his team, while his friends are getting destroyed is not going to be the way to do this. So he'll look down to his equipment up at the T-Rex, kind of looking all over, trying to analyze what's going on here. And Dax is going to look back at Waltz, who is kind of getting destroyed, and toss him a vial from his bag, performing the battle medicine feat. Ooh, that is a 27. Tell me that.
Your
crits.
medicine check? That's a critical success.
Okay, so you will regain 4d8 hit points. 22 hit points, Waltz.
Thank you, Daxie.
Dang.
Hey, Waltz, throw this on your wounds. It'll keep it from bleeding.
Thanks, Dax. And I'll grab that and apply it as quickly as I can.
It quickly clots the bleeding. It's some kind of like quick clot composition.
Then Dax is going to pull out his striking short. I can never say it. He's going to pull out his striking short sword
Whoa, say that 10 times fast.
and take off running to this T-Rex.
Jeez.
And that's all my actions.
All right, yeah, Dax heroically, after helping out Waltz, starts running towards him with his sword, and you are now kind of shoulder to shoulder and looking to fight this T-Rex, and that'll take us to Waltz.
Waltz will feel a lot better after applying those bandages and look at Dax sprinting towards this thing and just say, looks like we are fighting this thing, huh? And I'll grab my shield and swing it at the T-Rex's face. That's right by me.
Wow. You could kill a T-Rex, bro.
Let's do it, yeah.
All right. With your shield? Okay, roll it up.
Might as well.
You guys took on dragons. This dude doesn't even have wings. I'm like feverishly reading through everything on my character sheet.
Same.
Waltz, after you see the blood on your shoulder clot, you sort of rotate your arm just to get a feel, and it feels much better. And then you take your shield off of your back, grab it with both hands, raise it over your shoulder, and then just swing it as hard as you can into the T-Rex knee, and then it just bangs off of it and wobbles intensely in your hands, almost like hurting you with how much vibration is running up your body, and you can tell it did not affect this T-Rex one bit.
Okay, I will use my next ability to cast Everstand Stance and grab my shield with 2 hands, which raises it as well. And then I want to just position myself between, so I'll move for my last action and position myself between Dax and the T-Rex if I can.
Yeah, he's like the T-Rex is like 15 feet from you, more or less, because it can has a longer reach, so there kind of is that space if you want to like back up too. You put yourself in between Dax. Dax, you just see Waltz's big shoulders step into frame and blocking your vision between you and the T-Rex. And that'll take us to Reynard, who is dangling from the T-Rex.
I need to make purchase. Now, I am a combat climber, so I can fight while climbing.
Ooh, okay.
Me too. Did we just become best friends?
And so
Wait, what?
yeah, I'm going to try and stab my blade into his back, mostly just to have something to hold on to a little more stable.
Okay.
Just an attack.
Okay.
This is the first one, right? I don't gotta do the second. I'm learning.
Yeah, this is the first attack.
So are we.
It's 21. Do I get any bonuses for being on top of him, Zach? Do I get any like?
He should be at
No,
least
'cause
flat-footed.
you didn't like nail your.
That's true.
Yeah, you can be flat-footed. Yeah, you can be flat-footed. But yeah, you raise the sword up with the rapier, and then you go to stab into its thick skin, and your rapier just bends as you go to stab it, and then you pull it back, and it wobbles back into place.
It's
What do you do with your
invincible.
second action.
Then I'm going to go ahead and I have 2 things left, right?
Yes.
I will use the only spell I know, Daze,
Okay.
on him. So it's a will saving throw,
Okay.
DC 19. If he critically fails, he's stunned. 1. But yeah, he takes mental damage if he fails at all.
As you're dangling from it and you realize your sword doesn't work, you just out of frustration shout out this spell, trying to mentally daze the T-Rex in some way, and right as you do it, it lets out a roar. You just feel like it overpowers like all the sound you did, and there's just so much going on, and it's so disoriented, and you just feel like your spell fell on deaf ears.
Wah, wah.
Is that your last action?
That's all I got. Those are the 3 things, right?
Yep. And that'll take us to Jules.
Okay, Zach, I was looking at my gear. I have an emergency disguise. Would I be able to disguise myself as its disapproving mother and tell it to stop hurting these poor defenseless creatures and
You
go
can disguise
home?
yourself as a bush and just let all of Digsy's crew die and then go about your life.
I'm going to stand up. I'm going to yell, "Over here!"
Where's the diss?
We got to go with the classic. Over here, you onion-eyed miscreant! And then I'm going to run into the trees as I just furiously play my ocarina. Just random notes, just trying to make as much noise as possible.
Okay. So you're trying to draw its attention.
Yeah, how many turns is that?
Is there an action to do that?
How many
Is there
actions,
an actual
I mean?
action called that? Yeah. Hey, let us know if we're gonna do this. Yeah, he's gonna use create diversion, and it attempts to draw the creature towards him. So roll me a deception check.
Nat 20, baby!
Let's
Are you
go.
kidding me?
I don't know if I'm actually excited about that, though.
Yes.
Hooray!
Okay.
That is
All right.
100% the Jurassic Park flare moment. You
Yes.
successfully got the attention of a giant monster that wants to eat you.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. That's actually pretty sick because he also even if we're doing straight up Pathfinder rolls, he didn't roll very well. And what is your actual if you added your modifier to that? Just curious.
That would be +4.
Okay, yeah, you beat him by both metrics. And you know what? You got an nat 20, so yeah, you can even do create diversion the way you want to do. So, Jules, you start playing your ocarina and running into the brush without even pumping your arms as you're holding it towards your mouth. You can just feel this very shaky tune as you're going up and down, and your heart's pounding, and you're just taking off, trying to draw the attention of this T-Rex. And are you just trying to sprint as far as you can?
As soon as I get, as far as my movement will take me, which is 20 feet, I want to try to hide.
Wait, you're drawing him towards you and then hiding. Okay, interesting. All right.
Well, once I'm in the trees, it's he would kind of lose me. He'd see me.
Yeah,
in
so
the
you want
trees.
him to come look for you, but you don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
be
yeah.
found when he does.
Yeah, Terrence got the idea.
All right.
Yeah, I got you.
I prefer to
Roll
not
me
die is what I'm trying to do.
a stealth check.
Now that you've got its attention.
Yeah.
I don't like Zach's
that
smile. He's
is
smiling kind of hungrily.
26.
26. Okay.
I'm so scared, you guys. I'm so scared.
He said roll a stealth and his head turned down. It was like a.
Like when Anakin goes to the dark side. That's how Zach looked.
You said you rolled a 26.
Yes.
All right, you're playing your ocarina, but then as you near like some heavy brush and like a fallen over tree, you stop playing for just like a few paces and then dive over the log and then put your back up against it and nestle into the brush. And that'll take us to Tough.
Shoot. Tough will look to see what Jules is doing and kind of get the idea that he's trying to pose as a distraction to lure the T-Rex away. And he thinks that's actually a pretty decent idea, especially considering how it seems like they might fare against this T-Rex. So he'll say to himself, well, that's one plan, I guess. And he'll call out to the group, Jules is going to be a distraction. The rest of us need to head the opposite direction. But I'm going to keep an eye on Jules, make sure he gets back to us, all right?
What?
And I will...
Yeah, you're
And
on the
then I'm just
T-Rex.
And then I'm just going to delay my turn for later.
I forgot. Renard is on the T-Rex. That's like
Correct.
heading towards distraction. And Jules only ran like 20 feet away, apparently.
And it's
All
so
Hey,
hard
don't
to
make fun of my speed.
forget how
you
small
jerk.
like 20 feet is, too. It's like across the room.
Yeah, but
It's not my
with
fault.
the
as a
rain,
kid
it's
he
hard to
got
gauge
that fast.
distance. You know, like when you're running, it just feels like you're going
He's
further.
catch me in the
He's like,
water.
I
How
ran,
about that?
He's like, I ran so
I
far.
ran so far.
And it takes one
It was just
step
like-
and it's on top
And
of
I'm
you.
at like, at like no health, Zach.
You should not have made yourself the distraction then.
I'm gonna tell your
Jeez,
sister.
I got one
This
in.
is
What?
a cluster.
I got one health. What do I do? Get its attention.
That'll take us to the T-Rex. T-Rex lets out a roar. It takes 2 steps. And no, I'm just kidding. Takes half of its speed.
Oh shoot! I hate you.
Notices the song is no longer playing. And freezes. It's going to try and look.
What is happening?
Zach, just remember this thing's got a brain like the
This
size
thing
of a
has
peanut.
stats, and I am using its stats.
Tough looks how far it ran and just goes, maybe not.
Bump, bump.
It's 2 steps.
Jules, your heart is like pounding. This is nervous laughter. This is like episode 25 vibes right now.
I'm coming, Ryu.
And you realize you haven't heard anything for a moment. And then you just look up from the log and then just see this T-Rex like looming directly over you, like staring down as like drool is running off its teeth and lands
Looking at me?
on your chest. Yes. He's like a
No.
hunter. His perception checks are like insanely good. And it raises its foot up and then it's just going to try and stomp on you.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you guys later. I gotta go make a new character.
Does a 25 hit you?
You're stupid.
Okay. I love you all. This is so nervous laughter, dude. And deals 15 damage as the foot just crunches down on you. Are you still up?
You know the answer
And
to
the
that.
foot lifts up and you see Jules in like this massive muddy footprint with his arms outwards. And the T-Rex lets out another roar. And that is where we will end our session so that I can, I don't know, just contemplate life.
So
You know.
we can all figure out what
Yeah,
to do.
hey, very heroic stuff you guys are doing. Falling in the mud, getting trampled, just doing literally
Hiding
everything
behind a
but
bush.
attack.
Climbing up a tree.
Yeah, we got Renard hanging from the... You know what? We'll talk about the downtime. Which is wait, hold on. I almost just started saying my thing without telling you guys to shut up. I know you guys are mad at me right now, so I'll say it really nicely. Just, hey guys, please shut up. Like, I'm sorry.
Thank you for remembering.
It's nice to have a GM who believes in us all.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, shut up though. Okay, and we'll talk about in the downtime, which is patient to react to most recent episode. After you guys will air all your grievances. Adam's left. He doesn't. Yeah, he's probably working on his new character. Oh my gosh! Episode 25 vibes. Anyone? Anyway. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'll just read a couple comments I found online. I saw this one today and it just actually made me laugh for a moment, mostly because like I read it wrong at first. This like just happened today. There's a comment on Reddit and someone made a post that says D&D podcasts without sexual themes ? But when I read this the first time, I read it as D&D podcasts with sexual themes. And then someone put, I really like Mortals and Portals. But they're running Pathfinder 2. The mechanics aren't front and center to the episode, though. And at first I was like, wait, what? Like, my brain was, like, being dyslexic. And I was like, what's sexual? Like, I guess Tough just did a nut joke in the beginning of this episode. Maybe that's what it was.
I don't think that was very sexual, if I'm being
Joel's
honest.
doing his peck dance.
I had to read it like 3 or 4 times. I was like, oh, without sexual themes. But then it also made me pause and wonder, like, how many, like, sexual themed podcasts are there? I didn't actually know that was, like, really a thing. Unless they're talking about, like,
they talk about sex, sexual experiences.
I was like, that's a, hey, whatever.
They're out there.
So I just wanted to read that one. And then
there's
also,
a podcast for everybody, guys.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, some people like their D&D podcast sexy. I guess I don't know. And then also,
I mean, is that something you guys want to see?
Yeah,
we can
I want ours
look
to be
at adding
sexy.
some of that.
we gotta. Ours isn't sexy enough. I guess we just got like a very like unsexy podcast. And then also Ryan posted another behind the scenes video of him working on some music. I just want to thank everyone that watched that, and I'll just read one comment. Eric Hollinsworth said, "Dude, this is awesome. I love music, and this has a really nice and chill vibe. I'd love to hear more of this." So yeah, thanks for swinging by and telling Ryan that he is super cool and not sexy.
Make me feel good.
Ryan called me out because like I told him I'd upload it in the morning. And I was like behind on uploading it, so I was like, oh crap, and then I like wanted to make sure I got it up, but I watched like the beginning of it just to like come up with a caption, and I said something about how he like tells you that he got a new shirt or something, and I put that in the caption, and Ryan's like, hey Zach, way to watch the first 10 seconds of the video and use it for the caption. So yeah, Ryan saw right through me, but I ended up, I'll watch the whole thing, don't worry about it, man. And I also already know how funny Ryan is because I hang out with Ryan all the time, so I don't need to see much.
So nice.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, well, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. Mortals.
What's happening?
Hold on, actually,
This is really fun. I'm having a great time.
Who had the 30?
Josh.
I did.
And then
Are you sure this isn't scripted?
Dax had the 21.
I had a 23.
I had 21.
Oh. Yeah,
Why didn't you write it down when we all said
cut all
it?
this.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just listening. I was literally just listening. I was like,
He's just in the moment, man. He's just
I could
living.
tell you were. You're just like staring at us. I was like, oh, maybe he doesn't care who has
yeah,
it.
no, I was just like having fun. Like, cool numbers.
Just listening for whoever had the
Everybody
lowest.
got numbers. Let's go.
What did you
I know
get?
that number. I've heard that number before.
You're literally asking
Yeah.
everyone. You didn't get any.
What'd you get, Ryan?
I got a 20.
It was so weird. Like, I was having fun listening to you guys tell me random numbers. Like, I was like,
Zach's just in a really good place, guys. It's okay.
It's like,
I love
don't
it.
even
It's
remember
great.
why you asked. It's just like,
Who's the GM? Like, I hope they do something cool with that.
Yeah. I don't know who's running this thing, guys, but it's going great.
I can't wait to hear what these numbers mean.
Me too. Who's GMing?
what was your plan after you heard the numbers?
What'd you roll?
Like, it took so long for all of you to tell me it, and then I was like, crap. I gotta ask them all to tell me again.
A moment of silence, we're all staring, and Zach's just looking at the camera with a huge grin on his
Yeah, I was
face.
like smiling. Like, nice. Congrats on the 30, Renard.
All right, and that's it.
Cool. And that is where we'll end ours.
How much of this ends up at the end of it there, Joel? How much
I don't know. That's a pretty
I
good
might keep
blooper.
that. Sometimes if they're pretty funny, we just keep them anyway. But,
That was good.
all right.
That was real good. Sorry, everybody.